This deal I'm working on now is out of a Roughout, and it's like this is the way it looks to begin with. And basically, what it is this is somebody else's pattern. This guy named Harold Linlow. He's kind of like a guru of the wood carvers. Goes way back. Started out at Dog Patch in Arkansas, but he designed this Roughout, and you can get these, and they're done. They've got a lot of the wood. It's kind of like getting just a block of wood and bandsawing it out with a bandsaw. But anyway, you can get a bunch of these done. It makes it a little cheaper to work on, and also it makes it faster to work on. So instead of having to carve all this out from a log, you just start here, and that's what I'm doing now. And I've worked on just this particular Roughout. I've made several of these. They're really good. It's just a good pattern, and started out doing them. I mean, I didn't have my own patterns for anything, and they're so expressive. And anyway, that's why I work on this one from a Roughout. And I'll do these. These have always been good sellers. Of course, they're a Santa, so that kind of carries its own market anyway. But all you do is knock off all the rough edges, and then you put your own style on it, I guess you'd say, or your face. It doesn't have the details in it, and I've already carved my face on it. And in fact, if there's a picture of the one he carves it with a big open mouth and the tongue showing and all that. And I don't do that. It's just one, I want to kind of do my own thing. I don't want it to be exactly like the one he carved and like the original one he carved. But they sell these as a pattern, and years ago I bought some. I bought several from them and did tell them what I was doing, and they were good with it. They gave me permission to go ahead and sell them. They didn't care just as long as I didn't sell the Roughout. So if you want these Roughouts, you can buy this particular Roughout. They have them at Engler's shop at Branson. They've just started carrying them. What I'm doing now is kind of working on the hair and the beard. Using big chisels, the biggest chisels I can use is what I like to use. One, it removes a lot of wood, and also I think it gives a carving a lot of caricature, or a lot of character. Also on the caricatures it does too, but the bigger tools are big broad marks and tool marks, and I just think that looks good. And you can go back and add as much detail as you want. One of the guys I took a class from years ago, his name was Gerald Sears. He's a Branson carver. Does a lot of caricature cowboys. He was the one that turned me on to get the biggest tool you can and use it as long as you can on that particular carving, and then of course go to some smaller ones. And like right there, I'll come back in and put in details with a smaller. I may just detail it with this one. You do have to be careful of cutting past where you want to cut these bigger tools. And also, I know somewhere in here the beard separates from the from the face, the hair of the head. So you got to kind of get that in there too. But this is one I posted some pictures the other day on having the face done. And it's still not finished because I'll detail out the mustache and detail the eyes, clean it up a little bit. May make a few changes, but they'll be minor. And just getting in the back of the hair. I've done, I don't know how many of these I've done, quite a few. And there's always something a little different. Like right now I'm looking at how I'm going to lay this. This is actually the hair and then the fur on his coat, the back of a coat. I'm going to kind of put that line in there now, where I want it to be. Then it'll go to about nothing over there. And that's the, I don't know what the correct term is, but just a fuzz ball on the end of this, the Santa hat. I don't think fuzz ball is the technical term, but that's what I use, the term I use. Just put some marks in it and curve it around where it looks like fuzz, tassel, whatever. It's a completely different color. There's a lot of brown there to be basswood on that little tassel, fuzzball, knob, hat knob, whatever it is. And kind of shape that where it's, when they do the rough out, they don't get real close to it. I've had a guy do some bottle stoppers in my cowboy Santas, and you can get him to leave extra wood on it where you can make more changes. And I like to do that. I don't like to have it so roughed out that there's kind of nothing left of the imagination to do. I don't like that. So I like everything to be different. Unique, I think is the word. I don't guess it'd be, well, they are original, but, and that everything you do is original, but you have to kind of watch where the grain changes and run in one direction on the top of the sleeve and the other direction on the bottom of the sleeve. And I know I'll come back with the V-tool and smooth that. And it's kind of warm today. It's supposed to be in the high, or in the 40s tomorrow for a high. Right now, I don't know, it's got to be close to 70. Kind of a lump on his back there. Kind of smooth that down. This is a number 3 sweep that I'm using. And I've been carving for a while and I've yet to understand these numbers. This is a number 3. I know the smaller the number, the flatter it is, but I don't know, number 3s and 7s and whatever. And on this particular carving, I've just started kind of from the top and work down. I'm kind of do some mustache work here. Get it kind of shaped. Kind of shaped and kind of some details and see where this is going to end up. Oh, my timer went off. I forgot I had that set. Got something I got to go check on here in a minute, but kind of push the end of the mustache. It kind of sticks out a bit for my liking over here, so I'm kind of pushing that in a little bit, and it'll just come back and shape this a little bit more. Ooh. That's probably all the work I'll do on the mustache with this particular tool. This is one of my favorites. It's a number 11, 14 mm, which is millimeter. And I really like its size. Use it for a lot. I can use it to kind of draw on the carving, outline it when I'm working. I don't use a lot of pencil marks after I get started carving. I just go ahead and carve it on there with the tool. Like that's going to need a little more work, and cut that down in places and kind of get the flow of the mustache hair.